you everyone for coming today to remember my Uncle Matt and his passing. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of open it up to his brothers who are here today. There's going to be another ceremony next month, but they were only able to make it for this weekend, so I'm glad that we can accommodate and allow some of his friends to come next month while allowing some of his more local or available family to come today. So I'll open up to his oldest brother, Mark.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming by. For those who know me by my brother Matt's description, you can see I do not have horns. I'm not Satan. Matthew was, there was a pretty good age gap between myself and my brother Matthew. He was, the youngest of the three boys. And my brother Kirk and I kind of gave him just a little hard time. But one of the ways that he got even with us is that he towered over us as he got older. I'm 5'8", and Matt was considerably well past 6 foot, so there was a little revenge right there. And he always looked good, he last time I saw him, he looked like Tom Selleck, and I guess that kind of dates me. To me, I look like Mickey Rooney. So, but he was, we reconnected, it actually wasn't really that long ago. It was my son David engagement party. And Matt came down, and my wife Arlene and I were in the area, and it was literally, I think it was the first time we'd seen each other in like over 30 years, almost 40. And I was blessed that I did get the chance to reconnect with my brother, and we got to talk, and he wasn't much of a Facebooker. He wouldn't write Christmas cards or anything like that, but we would hear from each other from time to time and stay connected. And I made it difficult to stay connected because I was either living in Las Vegas teaching, and then about 3 years ago I took a job in Kuwait teaching, and that's where I teach today. So it was kind of hard for us to get together. But we did have one last opportunity, and that was last June when Matt and I's father passed away. And we got to connect one more time, and he was looking good, he was looking healthy. He had a sense of humor that wouldn't quit. And to be quite frank, I thought it was going to be him, bad talking me while I was in the can. So his passing came to be quite a shock. And I guess the lesson is that if you if you love somebody, you got to cherish them every day, because you just do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. And that's about all I have to say. My brother Kirk would like to say a few words, so Kirk, if you come up.
Hello and good afternoon, and I'm already messing up here. Technology and I are not friends. I'm very glad to see you all. I'm sorry that we're meeting under such circumstances, but cherish the day and cherish our memory of my brother Matt and your friend and uncle. And today we celebrate his life and think back on it. And of course, I know there will be another memorial, and heck, it might surprise you, I might be able to show up for that. I'd like to. Because Matt was a brother, but a very interesting person. As Mark said, he was the pesky little brother. You know, that was his role, and he played the role to perfection. And in all of Matt's acting career, he played the pesky little brother very, very well. I think the Lions probably would have made a good reality show coming up in the 1960s. And a lot of our character was set by the fact that we were an Air Force family. All of us were Air Force brats. And it really did help Matt's career as an actor that he wasn't stuck with a Texas accent. Neither was Mark and neither was I. We were born at Air Force bases. Matt was born April the 4th, 1960 at Richards Gebaur Air Force Base near Kansas City, Missouri. And I was able to travel there recently, and the Air Force Base is gone, but the house on Tinker Avenue is still there. The base housing is still there, and it's been subdivided and sold. And I don't know who's living there now, but the house is still there where he was born. And he was born at the base hospital. And his father, my dad, Clarence J. Lyons Jr., was a captain in the United States Air Force, and he taught at the Staff College there for intercept directing back when the big bad bear was the menace, the Soviet Union. And from there, the Air Force sent my dad to Norman, Oklahoma, from Kansas City, where Matt was a preschooler. And there the Air Force attempted to make an engineer out of my dad. And in 1963, our sister Carol was born, and then Dad was immediately transferred to Southern California. And Matt's spent probably his formative years near Norton Air Force Base, which is near San Bernardino, and we lived in a little town called Highland, which is in the foothills of the San Bernardino Mountains. And that's where Matt's accent, character, personality was really set in Southern California. So it's not a mystery to me why Matt would want to come back here to live when he was of age to do so. From there, after 6.5 years, we transferred to Hanscom Field in Bedford, Massachusetts, where Matt was in primary school. And my dad retired in the Air Force in 1971, and I think one of the pictures here is Dad's Air Force retirement. And we moved back to Texas. And that was actually a compromise. My dad wanted to move to Southern California, come back here to California. And my mother wanted to stay in Massachusetts. So they compromised on Texas. I guess right smack dab in the middle of the country. So they returned to Texas, and my mother and father were both native Texans. So Matt went to school in Austin, graduated from L.C. Anderson High School in 1978, I think, and then went to the University of Texas to major in fine arts. It was while we were in Texas, I became a reenactor. I'm those guys you see made fun of on a lot of different TV shows. We go out on weekends and shoot each other with blanks and fall dead, and I don't fall dead anymore. When you get to be 60, Mr. Ground is not your friend. And so I don't die anymore, I'm immortal. But as Matt was becoming a fine arts student, guess who he borrowed costumes from? I mean, I had a wardrobe. And so Matt was very free. As a matter of fact, I saw a picture here where he plays Buffalo Bill Cody. That's all of my stuff that he got out of my closet, including the boots and the whip and the hat and the frock coat and the vest. And so Matt and I always hit it off on the fine arts department. He got his degree from the University of Texas, stayed in Austin, I guess, until 1995, and came to LA simply because there was just no opportunity for him in Austin. There's only so much you can do, community theater, whatever, in Austin. He wanted his big chance, so he had to come here. And Sadly for the industry, they did not discover my little brother. Everything he did, he put his passion into, he threw his life into, he put his soul into it. Catholic Church, man, they had a perfect opportunity to have a compensated spokesman. Trademark. He'd have been worth every penny the Catholic Church could have paid him to play Jesus. And it's pity, Pope can't always be there to make pronunciamentos. There be man. Speaking ex cathedra with some authority, So, anyway, once Matt got to California, and I ended up about the same time, I ended up on the East Coast. Getting together was a little difficult unless we could meet in Texas at Mom and Dad's. And so we would meet from time to time. Matt, as you know, was kind of a night owl, and it runs in the family. I'm a night owl, and so I have logged many, many hours talking to Matt on the phone about everything you can think of. We generally didn't agree on politics. I'm the right-wing fascist, he's the left-wing Trotskyite. We would tease each other. But we did agree on, really we were both libertarians at heart and believed in personal liberty and personal freedom, and on that we could wholeheartedly agree. But we could talk movies, we could talk dreams. I had a particular dream that I talked to Matt about. I wanted to produce a movie for the 500th anniversary of the conquest of Mexico by the Spaniards. The 500th anniversary is coming up. And Matt and I would talk shop about producing The Gone with the Wind for Mexico. Be written in Spanish. You'd have, I was going to have Selma Hayek play Malinche. She's got to be pretty, but she's got to be evil. Cortez, probably Antonio Banderas. Hero of the movie is going to be Cuauhtemoc, the last Aztec emperor. Tragic figure is going to be Montezuma. We talk about it. And, when you don't go to bed, you got to do something with your time. And for me, it's either go and get a bowl of cereal or I can talk to Matt. And Matt was a great help. When my mother died, got to spend a couple of weeks with Matt and Mark's daughter Hazel. And, as we kind of sorted out my mother's estate, then my dad, his memory kind of went south, and I'm not sure what happened there, but we had to move him to North Carolina, and Matt's there to help wrap it up. He and Dad would go at each other. My dad had this nasty, disgusting mattress, and you can probably imagine why it was nasty and disgusting, that he insisted was going to take to North Carolina. And Matt baited him. It was kind of funny to listen to. No, Dad, you're not going to take it. I will take it out and publicly burn it before I'll let you take that to North Carolina. Oh, no, you need to leave that mattress alone. That's my mattress. You leave that alone. No, sorry, Dad, it's going to be burned. We're going to publicly burn it. We're inviting people. And that was Matt. And it was all in fun. And in fact, the mattress never made it to North Carolina. And Dad forgot all about it. And then my father died here in June, and Matt's there for the memorial, and he looked good. He really did. And, I've been talking to him on the phone. He got very hard to get a hold of because he was in the hospital a lot. And I'd call and not hear anything. And then I'd get a call, and this is Matt, I'm in the hospital. Gee, Matt, what's the matter? And whatever the current problem was. But then the last time, of course, somebody called for him, and that was a lot more serious and kind of scary. And as we know, Matt didn't make it. Just kind of everything ganged up on him, I think. So here we are. And in one of Matt's favorite places, this is the perfect place for him to be. And I appreciate Hollywood Forever. They have done a great job. Matt, this is a place where people will come to see him. David and Chad, y'all have been great. Thank you for all the work you've done in making this possible. There's work to do as we settle out Matt's estate. And the good part about that is that the grieving process is a normal process. It's something we all go through, and we have to do it. And as we work through Matt's affairs and wrap things up for him, the grieving process will get us, which has to happen, we'll come through it. I'm really delighted that my brother is up there with my dad and my mom and all my grandparents and a lot of people that came before him. And, you know, with any luck, we'll get to see him too. Matt was not your average churchgoer, but he was a spiritual person. And, you know, I'm a Presbyterian Christian. I'm kind of a Calvinist. And Matt was one of those people that I could talk about religion with. And, you know, he didn't ram his beliefs down my throat, nor I his, but, you know, Matt has a Bible there in his apartment. It sounds like he read it. And so I think we'll see him later on. And I'll be very glad to see him and have him welcome us. And he loved all of you. Matt had a big heart. He had a big heart. He was generous. And I have to say that in Matt's honor, I have given money to every homeless person I've walked across here in this town. If I see him, he gets money out of my pocket. And I just remember my brother Matt, is what I tell him. And I've still got some money in my pocket. If we see any more, I will give and give generously. And if those of us that knew Matt can remember him for what he was, and stay close, stay friendly, work in your community, give honestly and give generously of your time to those that are less fortunate than you, then you'll be remembering Matt. You'll be remembering Matt. And I'm the lawyer in the family. Remember, lawyers are part of the world's second oldest profession, and the only profession that Christ specifically condemned on earth. You recall in Scripture, he said, "Woe unto you lawyers." I have probably said more than enough, and so I'm going to sit down. Thank you. I hope that will fall off.
Try to keep it there. Right now, I'd like to open it up. I know there's a few friends that would like to say some words on his behalf.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sherry. Part of quartet, actually. Matthew, I love to call him Matthew. Matthew and I met at the massage company in Hollywood on Wilshire Boulevard. Jamie and I were talking about, was it 1998 or 1999? I went to massage school in 1998, and my first gig was the massage company. The three of us, Jamie, and Matthew, became fast friends pretty quickly, and then Laura joined on after that. And there's just so much. There's so much. I mean, for all of you who know him from doing massage to knowing him from the past, from theater or from movies, he was, when I met him, he had the long hair and he was doing extra bits. He'd get called to play, you know, deranged cuckoo people in the crowds, or Jesus freaks, or, you know, because of the long hair. When I did end up seeing some of the photos of him when he was younger, I mean, he's just handsome. That boy is handsome. And there's, you know, photos in there of us. I don't know if I'm going to read something from me. I might hug the stage and get up again. But Matt has a really good friend, Meg, and Meg's in Vermont. And I'm going to read something here from her. She's not here, obviously, but she is here. Matt was my constant companion for 25 years and more, for over half my life. Since we met all those years ago in that sad little duplex in Austin, we were never separated, only by miles and time zones, and those are nothing. We were closer than siblings, without all that family baggage, closer than most couples, free of those emotional and societal expectations. We shared everything other than living space, every detail of our lives with each other. I've wanted to call him up every day since it all started and whine to him. I want to call him up now and kid him for being dead, chide him of all the stupid things. He knew better. I told him not to. And he would yell back at me that I had better be nice to him because he was dead. And that trumps cancer. And he knows things now I don't know. So there. But I can't call Matt up. I won't come home yet to another message from him on my phone, or a package, or a card with his writing. He won't be visiting, and I can't visit him. He won't be complaining that I've not given him any good ideas for a birthday or Christmas gift. That was a constant battle, because he would give gifts for every holiday, and I wanted him to keep his money for himself. He wanted to give, he needed to give. Matt always gave all he could afford and more. He gave of and from his heart. He was poor as a church mouse, living hand to mouth, and he would buy presents for Christmas and birthdays, and he would bake rum balls and fudge and the most extravagant tarted up cakes for every birthday, serve up fabulous meals with every detail in place and accounted for. And it was all love. We were each other's family. We could be unrelentingly harsh with each other, and often were, because our relationship was secure. We knew we would always have each other, and we would always love each other, no matter our differences, no matter the distances. And we did. We did. When two people loved each other, there can be no happy endings. I am raw with pain and grief and loss and disbelief, yet he is gone and left me bereft and bewildered as to how to go on without him in my life. As we all are. As we all are who were fortunate enough to share in his life. Matt was part of our lives, and he always will be. It's hard to accept that he is gone. Anne Druyan said this on the death of her husband. The way he treated me and the way I treated him, the way we took care of each other while we lived, that is so much more important than the idea I will see him someday. He took care of us. Oh, Matt, I will never forget you, and I will never forsake you. And dying was still a stupid thing to do.
Is there anyone who would like to say a few words?
I'm Jamie. I met Matt when Sherry met Matt. And Matt was a dreamer, in the best sense of the word. If you ever visited his apartment or worked with him, you saw it in full array. He liked to create a world for himself and his guests or his coworkers. And I always came away inspired. If you admired something in his apartment, he would try to give it to you. Or he would find something just like it for your birthday. He also helped his friends with their dreams. We both had disabled siblings, so I could always come to him with my concerns and frustrations, and he understood in a deep way. He always asked how my brother was doing, and he had plenty of time to listen. And most important of all, Matt always had his priorities straight. Number one, help others.
is Arthur. So Matt and I were working in such company. We met maybe about 7 years ago in West Hollywood location. And since that, we became really, really good friends. And we could talk about music, about his more passionate part, movies, actors and actresses. And probably it's not a coincidence that now he's going to be in this center because he likes to come here to watch movies. He likes to be here with his friends. What I really will be missing in West Hollywood, and all of us probably the same way, that he liked to do details. He liked to do decorations. He liked to do some work in West Hollywood location, make the lobby and the whole place a little bit beautiful. And his actually maybe duty was to decorate the Christmas tree. That was his passion. He liked to decorate the tree so beautifully that sometimes we had some arguments. He would put too much. And he would say, Arthur, there is not too much. It's always good to have more and more and more in the Christmas tree. And he would hang balls from the ceilings the way he wanted to do. And what, no matter what people will say and tell their opinions, he will always do by his way. That was Matt, and we always will be missing. We always will have his presence in our location, in our hearts, in our company. So he was a good friend. He will be missed. Thank you.
Before closing, is there anyone like to start?
Matt was one of the kindest, thoughtful, caring people that I've ever known. Even in the hospital, when he was between his modes of suffering, between getting his pain medicine, I was just amazed that he was telling me how much he wanted to get gifts for various staff members, in particular his nurse Megan, and watching their bond and how much he cared about people. Like Jane said, so inspiring. Even in the midst of his own suffering, he thinks of other people. I come from a very close family back east, a big family. I'm part Italian, and I only have a few family members here. But Matt would create these wonderful evenings that you felt like you're part of his family. Anyway, he would go the extra mile for a person. I remember about 2 years ago this month, actually in August, I was having an especially hard time. And he said, Laura, I have a great surprise for you. Are you busy next weekend? No, I'm not busy. Okay, come over. So I come over and he created this wonderful picnic meal, and we went here to the Hollywood Cemetery for, they have these wonderful movies at night. So it was just, it cured every problem that I had for that moment. And just the care and time that he took, it is cherished by me. So I'm really grateful and just want everyone to know the loving influence that he has and will always have to me and all who knew him. Thank you.
with a few words as well. Just so everyone knows, after this, we were going to take a visit to where he will be set to rest next month or October, over by where they do the movie screenings, and then we will be having a meal reception at Magnolia's. I still remember, so I didn't know Uncle Matt for a long time. I had met him when I was really young. I even still have the books that he gave me for Christmas, the Chronicles of Narnia.
Better.
Yeah, they were awesome. But I hadn't seen him since then. I had left for the military, and you know, I had seen my grandfather a couple of times for holidays, and spoke to him a little bit more often as an adult. And he had told me one time that he really wished that all of his sons could be under the same roof, all his kids be under the same roof before he passed. And so I was like, hey, maybe I should try to make that happen. And he gave me Uncle Matt's phone number. I called Uncle Matt and I threw that idea at him. And his response was, I don't know if I'd be able to tolerate them. Which was funny. But he struck me as funny immediately, kind of giving the whole morbid, dark sense of humor that I've noticed that my dad has and Uncle Kirk has, and he has it too. It was funny because I hadn't spoken to him since I was little, really little. And when I heard him, I immediately thought, sounds like a gay version of my dad. But I got to keep in touch after that. My younger brother Christopher had been keeping in touch with him for a while now already, because my younger brother's performing arts as well, theater. He's been moving out here to LA to be an actor, following exactly in his footsteps as well. And Uncle Matt has kind of been that advisor, mentor, helping him, either not make the same mistakes as he did or provide some insight into kind of the industry, and he's been a huge help to him. Christopher got his second degree from England. He's going to be coming out to try to make it. So, and Uncle Matt has been helping him out the whole time. When I finally got to see Uncle Matt again, it was when me and my then fiance, actually I don't even think I proposed yet, but no, so we were just visiting them. We were just boyfriends. I wanted to visit, just to visit. It was close by. I had been in the East Coast for a long time. I was just out of the military and I was in San Diego. And when we got there to his place, he had this whole, he has this patio right outside of his apartment. He set up a table with candles and he made chicken fettuccine or something. Very Italian, very authentic, and I was thoroughly impressed. He was definitely a very tall Lions.
Unlike this.
The rest of us are short. Well, except for Uncle Christians. But if you take a 4'10" woman and a 5'10" man, you'll get a 5'7" male. But he was really tall and it was really cool. It was funny. It was like I was talking to somebody that, if anyone ever tried to talk to their parents, you just don't talk to them like you do your friends. I was talking to him like he was my friend. He came for my engagement party and he came down on the train and then rode his bike to the venue. And then a couple hours later, went back because he couldn't stay very long. He had work. He was very present. I got an interview at UCLA where I wanted to go. stayed with him, and he let me sleep in his room on his bed, and he slept on the floor in the living room, because he knew that it was stressful for me. I was freaking out. And, I eventually got in, and I got in towards the middle of July, beginning of July, and classes started at the beginning of August. My birthday is August 1st, and I didn't know anybody, but he came to the house with, I mean, you can see my crazy hair in there, but a cake, a cream-filled cake. And he, took it. He took the bus all the way over with this huge cake that was ridiculously rich, but so awesome. And that was my first birthday in LA. He had invited me and Chad to a couple of the screenings here, or suggested that we go, but I'm not a fan of crowds. I am a fan of movies. I don't think he likes the fact that I don't like movies before 1970 though. I said that once, and I swear I saw fire in his eyes. I really did. He probably killed me in that moment in his thoughts, but what can you do? We never took that opportunity. We were supposed to this year. I hadn't been connected to him very long. But even when I was having, me and Chad were having problems, he was able to call and check on me, and I was able to talk to him about it. He was willing to take Chad out and teach him how to do laundry. He was able to be family right away. And I took the time for granted, and I feel like I should have made more use of it when I can. And I'm very happy that we're able to come here and watch a movie with him anytime we want. I think Poltergeist is this weekend.
So Marlene's gonna miss it.
So Uncle Matt and my younger brother Chris, they're like two peas in a pod. They both love movies from all forms of movies. And they're both performing arts, and I'm kind of the scientist. I'm studying to be a doctor, and I like values and facts or whatnot. But one thing that I did want to try to get him to do with me one time was karaoke, because I'm Asian, it's in the blood. So I never got to. So I wanted to do a song for him today. Just so that way I can say that I did it for him. Okay, one more. Excuse me, because I've never sang this song in public. I heard there was a secret chord that they play and please the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, monophone, the major lift, the baffled king composing, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight over you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your groaning
in this room and I've walked this floor. Used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 There was a time you let me know what's really going on below, but now you never show that to me, do you? I remember when I moved in you, the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. 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 Maybe there's a God above. All I ever learned from love was how to shape somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Beautiful.
If Uncle Matt is up in heaven with Jesus, I hope he's not wearing his costume.
Jesus might need time off.
That's true. Hope he's not watching. Stop watching. I think we should go out to see where he's at, and Uncle Kirk will be able to lead us in circle prayer.
You want to do that out there?
I think it'll
Okay,
be really
I think
nice.
that'd be good.
Nice for us.
Okay.